In ancient Rome, the adoption of the Spatha and the abandonment of the Gladius by Roman armies marked a significant shift in their military tactics and weaponry. The Gladius was a short sword that became synonymous with Roman legions and gladiators, while the Spatha was a longer sword that originated from Celtic and Germanic tribes. The Gladius played a crucial role in close-quarters combat during ancient times. Its design featured a double-edged blade with a sharp point, making it ideal for quick thrusting attacks. The effectiveness of the Gladius was most evident in the tightly packed formations of Roman legions, known as maniples, where soldiers fought shoulder to shoulder. This compact weapon allowed for greater maneuverability and precision in battle, enabling Roman soldiers to swiftly incapacitate their opponents. The Gladius's design and functionality exemplify the strategic prowess of the Roman army and its ability to adapt to various combat situations. However, as Rome expanded its territories and encountered new enemies with different fighting styles, such as cavalry-heavy forces from Gaul and Germanic tribes, the limitations of the Gladius became apparent. The shorter reach of this sword made it less effective against mounted opponents or enemies who preferred to fight from a distance. The shorter reach of the Gladius hindered Roman soldiers' ability to engage in combat with adversaries who were positioned further away. The Gauls and Germanic tribes, well versed in mounted warfare techniques, could exploit this weakness by using their superior mobility and attacking from a safe distance. In such scenarios, the Gladius proved to be at a disadvantage due to its limited range. Furthermore, enemies who preferred fighting from afar had an upper hand against Roman soldiers equipped with gladii. These adversaries could employ strategies that involved launching projectiles or engaging in archery from a distance, keeping themselves out of reach of the short-bladed sword. The inability of the Gladius to effectively counter these long-range attacks put Roman soldiers at a significant disadvantage. Recognizing these limitations, the Romans adapted their military tactics and weaponry accordingly. They began incorporating longer weapons like spears and longer swords into their arsenal to counter cavalry-heavy forces and adversaries who fought from afar. These weapons provided greater reach and allowed Roman soldiers to engage opponents beyond the range of their traditional gladii. In conclusion, while highly effective in close-quarters combat situations for which it was originally designed for, the limitations of the Gladius became apparent as Rome faced new enemies with different fighting styles. Its shorter reach made it less effective against mounted opponents or adversaries who preferred fighting from a distance. This prompted the Romans to adapt their weaponry and tactics by incorporating longer weapons that offered superior reach on the battlefield. In response to the specific challenges faced by Roman armies, a significant development took place with the adoption of the Spatha. This transition was a gradual process and aimed at addressing the limitations posed by the Gladius, their previous primary weapon. The Spatha differed from the Gladius in several key aspects. Firstly, the Spatha was typically longer than the Gladius. This extended length provided Roman soldiers with a greater reach in combat situations, particularly when facing adversaries armed with longer weapons or engaging in mounted combat on horseback. Additionally, the Spatha featured a single-edged blade with a slightly curved shape. This design allowed for more powerful slashing attacks compared to the primarily thrusting-focused techniques employed with the Gladius. The curved blade facilitated efficient cutting motions and made it easier for Roman soldiers to deliver devastating blows against their opponents. This evolution in weaponry proved crucial for Roman armies as they encountered various enemies on different battlegrounds. The adoption of the Spatha enabled them to adapt their tactics and effectively counter adversaries who utilized longer weapons or employed different combat strategies. Overall, through embracing this new weapon, Roman armies were able to overcome challenges posed by their adversaries while capitalizing on enhanced reach and more effective slashing techniques. The Spatha played an integral role in shaping battlefield tactics and strategies during that era of warfare. The decision to abandon the Gladius in favor of the Spatha reflected Rome's evolving military strategies and adaptability to different combat scenarios. By incorporating weapons like the Spatha into their arsenal, Roman armies were better equipped to face diverse opponents on various terrains. It is important to note that while gladiators continued to use variations of the Gladius in their arena battles for entertainment purposes, it gradually lost its prominence within military campaigns as Rome's warfare tactics evolved. In summary, ancient Rome's adoption of the Spatha and abandonment of the Gladius represented an adaptation to changing warfare dynamics. The longer reach and slashing capabilities provided by the Spatha better suited the Roman army's needs as they encountered new enemies and expanded their territories.